So I want to remind everybody what's going on. There's a war on actual journalism, not fake journalism like Jim Acosta, where you be there's a real journalist, Julian Assange, and people don't realize what Julian Assange. I have to remind you what Julian Assange is being prosecuted for, not for anything to do with the 2016 election or Russia or Trump. No, what is Julian Assange being prosecuted for? For revealing war crimes of the United States. That's what this is about. It's not about Russia. It's not about WikiLeaks' emails with the Trump campaign. Nothing. It's got nothing to do with that. This is about prosecuting Julian Assange for printing articles that expose war crimes. Just like the government of the United States under Barack Obama tortured Chelsea Manning over the same thing, they're doing that to Julian Assange right now. So now they're prosecuting him. And the hearing is farcical. The press, so the press is being prosecuted by governments, and the press won't even cover it. Why? Because the press is owned by the oligarchs who are prosecuting him. The same people who are prosecuting him own the media. Why are they prosecuting him? Because he upsets the war machine, which is worth trillions of dollars every year. They also own the news media. So that's why they're giving him horrible coverage. Assange is waiting to find out if he will be extradited to the United States to face charges of conspiring to obtain and disclose classified documents passed to him by former U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning. U.S. corporate media have buried coverage of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's extradition hearing in the U.K., despite it being the media's trial of the century. But even in the scarce coverage that does exist on this unprecedented case with immense implications for freedom of expression, one would hardly get the impression that the United States and the British governments are involved in an illegal conspiracy in violation of their own laws to punish Assange for the crime of journalism. That's what's happening. The United States and the UK are violating their own laws to prosecute a journalist, and journalists aren't even fucking saying anything. That's how the United States gets into the position we're in. That's how I get to have a popular show, because guys like Jake Tapper will never tell you the truth about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, ever. Julian Assange, campaigner or attention seeker. That's when the BBC does this. So the entirety of Western media does complete smears of an actual journalist because the media is bought. And then someone from the BBC goes to interview the president of the Azerbaijan and accuses them of not being fair and having fair and free press. Watch what happens.
Why do you think that people in Azerbaijan do not have free media and opposition?
Because this is what I'm told by independent sources in this country.
Which independent sources?
Many independent sources.
Tell me which.
I certainly couldn't name sources.
Oh, if you couldn't name that.
So here, let's play it from the stop. So she's accusing them of not having a free and independent press. And he says, who tells you this? And she goes, sources.
Why do you think that people in Azerbaijan do not have free media and opposition?
Because this is what I'm told by independent sources in this country.
Which independent sources?
Many independent sources.
Tell me which.
I certainly couldn't name sources.
Oh, if you couldn't name, that means that you're just inventing the story.
So you're saying the media is not under state control?
Not at all.
And there isn't here?
Yeah, it is allowed, of course.
I mean, NGOs are the subject of a crackdown. Journalists are the subject of a crackdown.
Not at all.
Critics are in jail. None of this is true.
Absolutely fake. Absolutely. We have free media. We have free internet. And
no, just so you know, everything she just accused this guy of doing, and I don't know if Azerbaijan, I don't know the inner workings of their country. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe they're not. I don't know, but I do know this. Everything she's accusing him and his government of doing to journalists, the United States and the West and UK have done. That's exactly what they're doing right now. That's exactly what Barack Obama did to journalists. He cracked down on critics of the government. That's what she's accusing Azerbaijan of doing right now. That's what exactly the United States did. And watch how he catches her.
The number of internet users in Azerbaijan is more than 80%. Can you imagine the restriction of media in a country where internet is free, there is no censorship, and there are 80% of internet users? This is, again, a biased approach. This is an attempt to create a perception in Western audience about Azerbaijan. We have opposition, we have NGOs, we have free political activity, we have free media, we have freedom of speech. But if you raise this question, can I ask you also one? How do you assess what happened to Mr. Assange? Is it a reflection of free media in your country? Let's talk about Assange. How many years he spent in Ecuadorian embassy? And for what? And where is he now? For journalistic activity. You kept that person hostage, actually killing him morally and physically. You did it, not us, and now he's in prison. So you have no moral right to talk about free media when you do these things.
Returning to the conflict,
better return to the conflict, because this is not what you like. You like only to accuse, only to attack.
Now, the point of this, of me showing you this, isn't to show you what a good guy he is or what a great government they have in Azerbaijan. The point is to show you that the exact thing that the West accuses other people of doing, we have done in spades and are currently doing. The worst thing in the world, prosecute and persecute journalists and critics of the government. That's what we do in the United States and Britain. That's what they do. That's what they do. They got no leg to stand on. Do you understand that now? Do you understand how we can't call... So when somebody in the United States calls Putin a thug for the way they treat journalists, you go, what? You guys have been prosecuting journalists since forever. What are you doing to Julian Assange? Didn't you torture Chelsea Manning? What about all those whistleblowers that Barack Obama used the Espionage Act against? And he says, what? So you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about, you got no moral leg to stand on. You pointing the finger about Azerbaijan and the way we treat journalists. You guys are currently torturing a guy trying to kill him for doing journalism. And you're going to come to my country and tell us how we should do it? Julian Assange locked down in prison after COVID outbreak. But by the way, can I just tell you this? So this Julian Assange, campaigner or attention seeker? That's from the BBC. Yeah, totally. That's what this is all about. He wants attention. Can I just tell you, people who want attention start a podcast or an Instagram or a TikTok. They don't spend years in prison in solitary confinement for doing their jobs. But then again, Julian Assange did defend a Royal Navy whistleblower who exposed security problems at Britain's Trident nuclear base. So I guess that's kind of a TikTok. You've heard of shoot the messenger? The Julian Assange case is imprisoning the messenger, torturing the messenger, smearing the messenger so the public isn't outraged, and then make the messenger vulnerable to COVID. After an outbreak of COVID-19 cases in Julian Assange's wing of Belmarsh prison, Assange was placed into a lockdown. Lawyers for Assange told a London court earlier this year that he has an underlying lung condition that makes him a high-risk patient. Assange is waiting to find out if he will be extradited to the United States to face charges of conspiring to obtain and disclose classified documents passed to him by former U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning. A London judge is going to issue a ruling on January 4th. But the NFL players stood up for Colin Kaepernick more than journalists are standing up for Julian Assange. And nobody put Colin Kaepernick in solitary confinement. The corporate media's complicity around Julian Assange proves that they will be complicit in covering anything for the elite. Anything. It's a sad state of affairs when those who steal from the working class get rewarded, and those who publish things to expose them get put in jail. So it's just I don't know. It's here we are. This is totally about Julian Assange wanting attention. Okay, so there you go. That's what happens when the BBC tries to point the finger at another country's leader about the way they deal with the press. I want to play that again.
Why do you so on? How do you assess what happened to Mr. Assange? Is it a reflection of free media in your country? Let's talk about Assange. How many years he spent in Ecuadorian embassy? And for what? And where is he now? For journalistic activity. You kept that person hostage, actually killing him morally and physically. You did it, not us, and now he's in prison. So you have no moral right to talk about free media when you do these things.
Returning to the conflict.
Better return to the conflict, because this is not what you like. You like only to accuse.
How easy it is to humiliate and embarrass a Western journalist. How easy is it? It's super easy. I do it here on a daily basis. How easy is it to do a better job than a Western journalist? Super easy. Super easy. Even the ones who are the good journalists are willing to do propaganda at the drop of a fucking hat. Guys like Glenn Greenwald have the guts to walk away from a cushy job to tell the truth, to not be part of censorship in the aid of the oligarchs. And of course, the YouTube shows that screamed the loudest, Russiagate, which made the censorship environment possible, I'm going to guess also are wrong about Glenn Greenwald. Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess. Thanks for the lane, I guess. It would be nicer if we had allies fighting on the left, but the people who consider themselves on the left, if you side with the Intercept over Glenn Greenwald and you're a Russiagator and you attack Trump from the right, I got news for you. You're not on the left. You're not on the left. I got news for you. You might say you are, but your actions betray you. You're a right-winger when it comes to foreign policy. You're a right-winger when it comes to freedom of the press. You're a right-winger when it comes to censorship. You're a right-winger when it comes to the Democratic Party. You're for them. They're a right-wing party. You're a bunch of fucking right-wingers. It's not easy to out-left those people. I do it on a daily basis over here. That's why we get a lot of hate. Because whenever you out-left someone, drives them fucking nuts. And of course, we do it in a more entertaining way than they do.
This is from Action for Assange. Thank you for covering the Julian Assange's extraordinary rendition. The judge concierge, the State Department, is scheduled to rule on his extradition January 4th. Soon we'll be announcing our protest plans for January 3rd and 4th. Keep it up. Thank you, and keep us informed about those actions. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.